Hi OTC Foodies, it's Terry again. All right, so as promised, we have an appetizer and a snack, I guess dessert, that we're gonna fix with a very versatile ingredient that I like to have in my freezer. It's a puff pastry sheet. So you can do a lot of things with this. You can use it to make a breakfast casserole, egg casserole, which I'll show you later. You can do an appetizer, which I'll show you. You can make cookies, which I'm gonna show you today. You can use it as a topping for a chicken pot pie. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this, and it stays in the freezer, so it's not perishable. It's not gonna go bad like if it was staying in the refrigerator or something like that. All right, so I've taken my puff pastry sheets out. I've let them come to somewhat room temperature. They're not frozen anymore. They're a little soft. And there's 2 sheets in this, so I'm gonna take out one at a time. I'm just gonna work with one at a time. Now I've used this before in the past when I made the apple desserts. So like I said, these are really versatile ingredients, and I'm just gonna put that to the side. Now first I'm gonna work on is gonna be my savory component. And this is really good to have just to make people to snack on, or you can serve it with soup or chili or something like that. So I'm taking a stick of butter. This has been softened. So it's been sitting out for a little bit. It didn't just come out of the refrigerator. And this is salted as well. Just gonna kind of cut that up a little bit. All right, next we're gonna mix in some grated Parmesan cheese. I don't want the big pieces just because I wanna be able to spread this. So we don't want anything that's going to be like the large shaved Parmesan cheese. Typically, I don't get this style of cheese, but it worked for today's purpose. And next, I'm gonna flavor it with a package of ranch dressing. Now, this is really easy. All this stuff you can find in the grocery store. There's really nothing out of the ordinary here. And we're gonna put that in there as well. All right. Next, we're gonna incorporate this butter and cheese into each other. Now, it might still be a little firm, so I might have to just like zap it for a second for about maybe 5-10 seconds at the most, just so I can work this in. All right, meanwhile, my oven is at 425. It's already warmed up. And we want it at a high temperature because we want this puff pastry to puff. That's the whole purpose of it. You don't want to cook it at a low temperature. You want to keep it high. All right, I'm also working on parchment paper here just because this makes it easy to clean up. And I can pretty much transfer it to my baking sheet by just lifting the paper and not moving or having to move anything around, really. It makes cleanup really easy on the countertop here. It's being a bugger today. See if this does look better. Now the ranch dressing, the dry package, is found in the supermarket aisle that has all the dressings to it. You can just find it around there. So it's really something that's available. I also have Italian. Italian would be good as well, but I happen to like ranch, so that's what I went with today. And if you wanted, you could have you could use bacon bits in this as well, if you want to add that. All right, I think we're getting somewhere now. we've got the cheese and the ranch dressing worked in. This can be done ahead of time as well. And then when you're ready to make these, you can just pull this out and let it come to room temperature, or just put it in the microwave for a few seconds at a time until it is spreadable. All right, I think maybe that might work. Okay. I'm going to take my puff pastry sheet out and spread it out. Now you can see I've got a rolling pin out here because I just want to give it a little stretch here. I'll roll it out. We're going to be cutting this into strips, so we want to be making like a breadstick size. All right, so next let's take some of our spread here and start spreading it out. You don't want a whole lot on here. You want to make sure you get it all the way to the end. Now, once these are baked, they're going to stay fresh. I would say 2 days at the most. You really don't want to make them too far ahead of time because they're going to be losing their freshness. They're going to be using that crisp or the bite that they have. So it's best to make them sooner rather than later. Almost there. These would also be good if you were fixing a brunch as well. Add some eggs, bacon, some of these on the side. Or like I said, if you had some homemade maybe vegetable soup, that would really be good. All right, there we go. So next we're taking our pizza cutter here, and we're just going to be making just some slices here. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's the nice thing about this. You don't have to be able to have all of them matching. They're going to be good regardless. All right, and then we're going to be twisting them. You can see why I left it on the parchment paper. It's just the easiest thing to do. Everything is right here. You don't have to worry about trying to move them around. It stays on the paper. That one right there. Not a pretty one. I'm gonna take a little more Parmesan cheese and just kind of like sprinkle over the top here. All right, my baking sheet is ready. And slide it on. All right, I'm gonna pop these in the oven and we're gonna let them cook until they're nice and brown, probably about 10 to 15 minutes, all right? So let me put these in the oven and then we'll be checking in on those and then starting our next one. So stay tuned. All right, so this is the finished product for the savory puff pastry rolls with the ranch and the cheese and the butter. You could switch it out and do cracked black pepper if you wanted and the cheese, or maybe some finely grated cheddar cheese. It really doesn't matter, but you can see these are nice and brown. They're nice and crispy as well, and they would be a really nice addition to any supper or even a breakfast.